Order the regular meeting of Independent School District 695. Lisa, can I get a roll call, please?
Director Sauter. Here. Director Rice. Director Karati Simon.
Here.
Director Lappy. Here. Director Raha.
Here.
Board Chair Casey.
Here. Anybody from the public like to address the board?
Why do you look at me? Why?
We've got recognitions of guests and visitors. Did you want to get up and speak at all, or?
No.
Okay. All right, we are moving right along. Item 4, approving of the agenda. At this time, there are no additions.
All motion approval.
Motion by Director Raha,
I'll second.
second by Director Sauter. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reports. Ryan? Nothing,
I
or-
could do that during the, motion to approve the 712 student manual. I can do
Okay.
both at once if you would like.
Mike, do you have anything?
Just quickly, fields and the gyms are all ready to go for fall sports here. Yeah, they're doing some work on the football stadium and the windows order for the football booth, announcers booth there to get done. We're working with the city, kind of splitting costs on that. And then we had our IEA annual training today and just continuing with some of the Ingenza construction stuff with the kitchen meeting on Thursday, seeing what we can use in the new kitchen. So,
Okay. Mike, do you know if anybody's checked the sound system up there?
Yeah,
yes,
we should.
yeah, Travis has been up there with Joel and they were looking at that, so.
Travis, I and Mike went and tested the sound system in both the gym and the football field, and they seemed to be okay at the time, but it's,
Certain
we
voices.
did not check the pull. What do we still have the portable one in there, correct? I know there's-
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
you know, they're probably all due for an upgrade. I hate to upgrade the gym, and we're gonna be getting a new gym in 2 years, but I think there's pieces and components we can buy versus replacing the whole thing, is what I suggested to Travis and Joe Phillips to take a look at.
Okay.
The speakers are still pretty good, and that's the most expensive part when I purchased those years ago, so.
All right.
And the
Thank you.
first home game is at August 31st?
Should be, it's Thursday night,
Okay,
whatever the date is.
Okay.
Yep, at home.
I can actually find out the webpage a little better. Can
Yeah.
actually see the upcoming sports, like the volleyball games and stuff, it's kind of nice. Used to feel like I hunted in circles.
Item
Lot more user
number 6, approving the consent agenda. These are the minutes of the March 13th, 2000. Yeah,
We need to fix that, not March.
these are our last meeting, which is
July 2012.
July 27th.
Yeah.
And the accounts payable for the month of July 2023 in the amount of $320,000, I can't even speak. That's $320,983.03. Can I get a motion for approval?
Mr. Chair, one question.
Yes.
Is there no payroll for July?
No, the last one was payrolls were June, July, and August. She did them all 3 months.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Director Lappy,
I'll support with that change to the date.
support by Director Sauter. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7, personnel. Item A, motion to approve the request for a 1-year leave of absence from Jamie Moberg, paraprofessional, effective July 26th, 2023.
All motion approval.
Motion by Director Raha,
I'll support.
support by Director Karati Simon. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve the hiring of Lynn Ann Greer, elementary teacher, Von Steffensrud, effective August 29th, 2023. And I hope I pronounced her name wrong. Oh, right.
Here, I'll tongue tied.
I'm a little off today.
I'll make the motion.
I support.
I know how
Motion by
you feel,
Director
Sure,
Sauter.
Casey, I know how you feel.
Motion by Director Sauter, support by Director Lappy.
Yes.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7C, motion to approve Robbie Albert's request for enrollment in the principal's licensure program through Concordia University, St. Paul.
All motion approval.
Motion by Director Raha,
I'll support.
support by Director Crowdy Simon. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 8A, motion to approve the contract between ISD number 701 Hibbing Public Schools and ISD number 695 Chisholm Public Schools for leadership of the community education program beginning August 21st, 2023, to run through June 30th of 2025.
I'll make the motion with a date change. It's actually supposed to start August 15th, 2023, not the 21st.
Motion by Director Sauter, support by Director Lappy.
If I may, I'm sorry, to interrupt. I think the Hibbing School Board approved the 21st. The 15th was gonna be for the athletic, and the 21st was gonna be for food. If I'm not,
Our community is the 21st.
Oh, they're flip-flopped in our packet, that's all.
Oh. Okay. I'll take back my change, but I'll still make the motion.
Support.
Discussion? None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. I am tongue-tied today. I'm saying that. I am in favor of this. Item B, motion to approve the contract between ISD number 695 Chisholm Public Schools and ISD number 701 Hibbing Public Schools for activities director services beginning August 15th, 2023 through June 30th, 2025.
So made.
Motion by Director Lappy,
Support.
support by Director Crowdy Simon. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I just, as I spoke up during the meeting, I appreciate Mr. Bachi's zealousness, I do. But he's also gonna be in charge of our activities department. And my opinion is, I'm gonna support this. I mean, I think it's a good thing. But he's spread pretty thin, and we better keep an eye on what's going on here also. So, that's all I have to say.
And I also concur with Director Raha on that. I just hope we're not overextending the job function of our athletic director. We are going to meet probably in a couple months, the joint committee, to see how things are going. Hopefully at that time, their athletic director and Mr. Bachi will have nothing but good things to say about the situation.
That follow-up meeting's the end of September.
No, that's one more meeting, then we're having another one possibly in November, December to kind of feel out all of these things that we're doing. We didn't set a date for that second one though. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, motion to approve the 7 through 12 student manual for the 2023-2024 school year.
So there's a few changes I was gonna go through. Do you want to do the motion first, or should I continue that kind of?
Yeah, I'd like to entertain a motion just for discussion.
I will motion approval.
Motion by Director Raha,
Support.
support by Director Lappy. Discussion.
Okay, thank you. Some of the changes to the student manual, the first one was for the free lunches for all, free lunches and breakfasts. There is a stipulation that if they have a second lunch, and some of the high school boys are known to do this, they will be paying the adult price on that. So, but it's free lunches and breakfasts for all, according to the new state legislation. The next one is 7th and 8th grade. Just knowing 7th and 8th graders, and I know that they have had an open lunch for the last few years here, but before that, it was closed, and then when the pandemic hit, kind of opened it up just to try to keep people away from each other. I think it's time to bring them back for the 7th and 8th grade into the closed lunch. I think they've terrorized the villagers enough for the last couple of years, and it'd probably be good to have them in the building where we can keep an eye on them. The third one is the 7th and 8th grade cell policy. So in the previous position, we've tried this. It was called out of sight from bell to bell. Basically, during the class period, 7th and 8th graders cannot have their phone out at all. We've encouraged them in the past to actually communicate if there's free time instead of sticking their face in their phone. And try to talk to other people. Then in the hallways, between classes, at lunchtime, before and after school, they can use their cell phones. There are 3 changes that were in.
So it's strictly classroom time.
Strictly classroom time, yeah. The 9th through 12th, it's basically teacher's prerogative as it has been in the past couple of years.
Now, are we going to let the teachers be aware of that? Because
Yes,
my daughter was in 7th and I know her usage was happening during the day and she
yes,
would tell
we're
me
gonna,
if she got her work done and her teacher lets her.
yeah, we're gonna have a big discussion on it. It
Okay.
has to be all teachers are
Yep.
going to have to be on board, otherwise it won't work, it'll crash
Yeah.
and burn. So it has to be everybody. We're also gonna send out notifications to parents on this.
Yep.
Those 2 changes, they need to know beforehand to prepare their children.
Absolutely. Communication.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say to Mr. Hick, I appreciate the cell phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
I know how hard this has been for 20 years. It's been very difficult, and you experienced it when you were teaching here. But I do have an appreciation for limitations on cell phones. Every classroom has a phone. Call the classroom if there's an emergency. That's the way I kind of look at it. But so thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And Mr. Hake, do you know if other schools within the area have a similar policy, just 7 and 8?
Yes,
9 through 12 is
yeah,
based on teacher.
we implemented it last year in Rockridge we piloted it in March. And it worked extremely well because all the 7th grade teachers were on the same page and the kids knew about it. We had meetings with the kids. Why is this important? We went through some data about social problems and the social medium, mental health of kids. So it was a big success there. I know other schools have similar policies. I'm not exactly sure which ones.
And as usual, it's probably gonna be a little painful for the kids to start. But I think if we're, like you said, if we're consistent across the board, because we've done this before and then we've got a little lax. But I think that's a positive move.
Yeah, I think probably with 7th graders, it might not be that much of an issue, but the 8th graders might need a little
Especially
redirection.
since the 8th graders got to do it last year, so, yeah.
Anything else for Mr. Hake? We do have a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 policy changes, and we'll either approve, deny all at once, or you can make a motion to pull one for discussion. They are policy number 526, hazing prohibition. Policy number 602, organization of the school calendar and school day. Policy number 603, curriculum development. Policy 604, instructional curriculum. Policy 620, credit for learning. And policy 624, online instruction. Can I have a motion for all of the approval?
All motion approval.
Motion by Director Roth,
Support.
support by Director Crowdy Simon. Any discussion?
Just real quick, Cindy and I got together yesterday and kind of went through these and I saw where they expanded things. When you put them into the website, is the date that it's approved on
Yeah.
there? Okay, and we just couldn't remember. So there's no dates on these,
Yeah, I
we don't
don't
remember,
remember
but
anything until they're,
yeah, other than that, I thought it was pretty business as usual, you know? Covering our butts, as long as everybody follows it.
A lot of policy changes this year.
Yeah.
It's all the legislation that came out.
Well, the one question that I posed before the meeting, the definition of hazing, just to make sure that we also have a harassment policy to conjunct with that. Just because we want to define the difference between the two. And I was advised that we do have that. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, just discussion, staff breakfast.
And I don't know if I can, I wanted to add a couple other things that are not on here, so. So on the 29th, Tuesday, 8 to 8:45, we have staff breakfast. Do we want to do that as a board, or otherwise I will make sure they're supplied with some snacks to start their day, the first day they're back. So in the past couple of years, the board has served breakfast. Is that something?
I
definitely
actually
want
think
to
it's
do
a
it.
good thing
Yep.
that the board is there.
Okay, so I will plan that, and just as long as we have,
Said 8 AM, right?
yep, 8 to 8, then they gotta be in the auditorium at 8:45, of course.
Shelley normally picks up stuff
Yeah, I still
for
have a
that.
discount through Bonnie's, so I
Oh,
can
okay.
get some prices on the sandwiches. I thought maybe,
Sure.
I'll run it by the board, but we can maybe do like a yogurt bar or something like that.
Sure.
It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get
I
some
think it's
prices,
been
I'll
perfect
send
what
you.
we've done in the past, it's been pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people-
and a grab and go
They've
and-
appreciated it, I have.
We do too, yeah.
She was amazing at that. Estimating numbers.
This is more information, moving on from that. We got our nursing contract, the proposal from Aviana, and in the past year, we've been paying $40 per hour. We have 2 people at the district. They basically, Lisa said on the phone with them for quite a while, it's hard to get a hold of them. They're going from 40 to 68.50 an hour, which is give or take $50,000 per year. So I'm gonna meet with Hibbing and look at some other options. I'm gonna bring it back to the board. I will email you. But other options we have is maybe if Hibbing is willing, is sharing an RN and then hiring LPNs to cover both of our buildings. So, and that would, just doing the math and looking at a neighboring school, I talked to the county schools today, I talked to Rick, I got contracts, and even if we went out on our own and got our own RN, we would still be in the ballpark of the $40 per hour. When all's said and done, that includes benefits and everything. We'd at least be in the ballpark, but we wouldn't be around 140,000, which is, that would equal 68.50 an hour is about, give or take, just ballpark is 140 versus 80 something for.
Are both of our nurses currently RNs too?
No, they don't have to be. We have to have one that oversees it. And then we probably need an LPN at the other school, so. So I will come back to you with some ideas. I will shoot you an email hopefully by the end of the week. In the meantime, we may post pretty quickly to see what's out there, so.
Yeah.
And at worst, our Aviana contract to cover health services, there's a 30-day out clause. So if we need something in place at the start of the year, if they're not willing to negotiate that price down a lot, because that's a 58% increase, we can always, start that way. And then just a 30-day written notice, we can get out. So I will bring options back to you on the 28th, but I'll definitely email you, keep you in the loop what's going on there. Okay, so the other thing I want to bring up is I emailed you kindergarten. We have 50 kids. Typically, we'll get a handful more. This is a good thing. I could do, what I could do is maybe sit down with Mrs. Winter and a couple of the kindergarten teachers and see what are good numbers for them and move forward. If we feel that is the number 54, then we go to 3 sections. Is it 52? Is it 56? At what point do we go to 3 sections for kindergarten? So unless the board has some ideas.
I think that conversation needs
Yeah,
to
I think
be
we're
done.
close because
Mhm.
I think if you got kindergarten classes that big, it's.
You get up past it, there are 25 each
Yeah.
right now, you get up past that, that gets to be
Mhm.
pretty, and the good thing
And
is
in
we
kindergarten,
can,
that's,
So hands-on.
finding an elementary teacher is probably the easiest of the positions to find, which is good. But we might start, by the time it gets all in place and board approval, it might take some time, but.
I think that, the trouble is the special needs kids, and we don't know how many of them are gonna be in there.
Mhm.
And how many pairs do we put in there to manage it, you know, but back in the day when things were like a lot more simple, we set a 3-section thing at 60,
Okay.
okay? Again, 56, 57, that's close enough.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it.
I think that. I think my Robert's class was 3, and we only had 50 for small class.
Okay.
Because the class went into 16.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll talk
There's
to,
3 strong and
Okay.
there's 10 special.
Okay.
So it was
52.
about the 52,
It was in,
you know,
Right.
and
and,
then I think they went down
hold on,
to
sorry.
2 after that
okay,
year. Just because that
Oh,
class
yeah.
was so small, but then we had some big classes.
Yeah.
and a big part of it is the unknown. We don't
Yes,
know.
Or how many you're gonna pick up, yeah, like you said, you usually do, so.
No, I think Shelley's right, when our daughters and their class sizes are, they, what's the class size going into, 5th grade? Do
I
you
think
know?
that's a bigger one, isn't
It was a bigger one, but there was 3 sections.
Cause there was
in
3 sections
kindergarten.
in that one too. Cause the teacher retired the year,
Yeah,
a couple years
25 and
after.
26.
Maybe at the next meeting, Mark, too, we can start including that report.
Yeah,
Yes.
I said, right now, I just, you know, I mean, they're low.
Well, those numbers are gonna
immediately.
change so much right now that
Yeah.
she could print it and make it change in an hour.
I think in that 5th grade, we had 70-some kids,
That one was big,
I think.
so the 6th grade class was small, they still had 3, they had 3 for your daughter's class, and then I think they went down to 2, because they were in the Tom's class, there was only 2.
It's the 9th grade, I think.
9th grade.
That's
The
really,
ninth
that
class
one's
is
really
really
big,
big.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
Last year.
But the 5th grade class had jumped up a little bit, that one.
And then, yeah, that was 2 sections last
Ours-
year, so.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
just keep us informed on that.
Okay,
I don't know if anybody would like to be included in the meeting with Mr. Morrison and Ms. Winter and the 2 current kindergarten teachers.
anybody interested? And if I set the meeting, I can make it, I'll do it. Okay.
I could always be there too.
Let me know
Okay,
what.
so I'll get a hold of you two, and then, we'll sit down and set a number. If that makes sense. If we get to a certain number, then we can move forward.
Yeah, right. then you could-
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
actually, you're right.
I've got
I
a,
think it's a good problem.
even if it's by Zoom, we'll make it work.
in March, let's see, 4th grade was 53 kids, but I don't know what they were when they went into,
I think it was more.
I think it was a couple more, yeah. Cause our biggest class last year in March was 8th grade at 74 kids. Mm-hmm.
Any other information the board wishes to bring forward? With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Supported.
Director Raha by second by Director Lappy. Time is 5:24.
Anyone can make her sign?
Aye.
Yeah.